Let's talk about the Pact that's in the journal. This is one of those things that some people might find a little bit silly, but you have to remember what the goal of this entire method is. The goal of this method is to change our minds, literally. And yes, there's a lot of psychology into that, but there's also biology into this. We are creating new neural pathways, right? We are creating new processes in our mind to get away from the old defaults to a new set of defaults. That requires action, right? The whole face it step, hopefully you watched that video already. The whole face it step is about that. If you haven't watched it, please do so. Super important. The Pact is an action that you can take right at the beginning, that you need to take right at the beginning before you get into any of the analysis, answering any of the questions, all of that part of the S.P.I.N method itself. Take this Pact. Take it seriously. Again, it may seem seriously, but it may seem silly rather, but take it seriously. This is something you need to do. So if you look in the book, I think it's on page 25. Yeah. So the Pact, there's 4 things that you're going to agree to. And the instructions, as it says in the book, is I want you to say this out loud and then sign it. There we have visual. I'm reading this, right? Auditory. I can hear myself saying it. And then kinesthetic, I'm going to sign this. And even the process of saying it out loud has some kinesthetic aspects to it, right? We are getting our body involved with our brain together to do this. It starts us in the right mode, in the right method. We are now in the zone to make this happen. It's building those new habits. So 1, I will work the S.P.I.N method truthfully and honestly. It won't work if you don't do it. You have to be honest with yourself. If you are going to analyze the situation, be honest with yourself. Remove the judgment and be truthful. This is what really happened, not what I feel. Now, feelings are valid, but they're not facts, right? Feelings are valid and there's a place for them. But we need to talk about the facts, what really happened, because that's going to help us with our feelings. If our feelings are out of control in a situation, we need to get out of that emotional response, glass half full, glass half empty, to say, okay, all right, okay. Just a glass. How much water is in that glass? About 50%. Okay, all right, just that. So I will work the S.P.I.N method truthfully and honestly. You'll get better with this as it goes, but really make that pact with yourself. I will be honest and truthful about this. I'm going to tell the truth, which really means I'm going to own my part in this, okay? Very important. Number 2, I will treat myself lovingly and kindly throughout this process. Remember, it's not your fault that you're wired for negativity. It's part of our human growth and development. It's part of our human process. It's part of our society that we live in. There's some nature, there's some nurture. It's not your fault. Now, have you played a part in that? Sure. You have definitely added to that. Absolutely. But this is not a time to be upset at yourself. This is not a time to be getting down on yourself. This is a time to treat yourself kindly and with love, okay? It's okay. If you need to forgive yourself multiple times through this process, you're going to do it at the end of every single S.P.I.N method questionnaire that you go through. If you need to do it more often than that, do it. Hey, it's okay. Don't get down on yourself. There's going to be times when you're going to go, oh man, I'm never going to get this. I'm just negative. I'm just a negative person. That's not true. Challenge those thoughts, right? That can be part of the C of face it. If there's something you can't figure out to change, but there's something you can challenge that thought. You can do this. You will do this. Just keep at it. As you keep at it, it's going to get easier. Just like anything else that we do in life, the more we do it, the easier it gets, right? If we don't like to go outside and walk or run, but if we do it and keep doing it, suddenly we can walk further and run faster and further. It just gets easier. Okay, so be loving and be kind to yourself throughout this. No judgments. Just do it. Just go through the process. Say, it's okay. I understand. Wired for negativity. I'm going to work on that. Okay. Number 3, I will work the S.P.I.N method when I am in an open mindset and able to challenge my outlook and beliefs. That's important. That is important. Don't get into this method if you're not in the right place. If you're too emotionally charged because of a situation, okay, that's fine. Do something to help you get your emotions back under control. Do some self-care. Do some meditation. there's if you don't know about Purge Meditation, you can check that out at the university.life. There's about Purge Meditation to help kind of purge out all the extra stimuli that come into our minds all day long. If you need to do that, great. Excuse me. If you need to go take a walk, take a nap, take a bath, buy yourself a treat, whatever it may be, do something to get yourself out of that emotionally charged state. Okay. So once you're out of that, now we're in a place where we can get our frontal cortex here involved. We can get our logical thinking involved and really start to break down the situation. Okay, so commit to yourself. I will work the S.P.I.N method when I'm in an open mindset and able to challenge my outlook and beliefs. It's not going to be easy right up front. So the key to this pact is remember, be loving and kind to yourself. If you're not perfectly there, you're not perfectly there. That's fine. Okay, do what you can do. And as you keep going through it, you'll find that the next time you do this, it'll be easier for you to get into that open mindset. Open mindset meaning I'm willing to accept the glass idea. I'm willing to remove my judgment from it, right? And where I can actually accept the change and where I can actually accept the challenge to my beliefs. I'm going to challenge the way I'm thinking. Maybe that person's not quite so much of a jerk as I thought they were. I'm going to challenge that. Be in a place to be able to do that. Okay, number 3. Oh, just kidding. Number 4, I will accept the changes being made within me, and I will allow them to bring more goodness and positivity into my life. Oh boy, this is the big one here, folks. This is it. I mean, this is I call it the main point in the book. You have to be willing to let this work. You have to be willing to accept the changes in your life. You have to be willing to let goodness happen. I'm going to give you a little nugget of truth here. Unfortunately, pain is powerful. When we feel pain or we feel anger, it makes us feel powerful. We can get addicted to that feeling. We really can. It's a powerful chemical reaction that floods throughout our body. It makes you feel powerful. We don't want to let go of that sometimes. Sometimes we don't want to let go of the offense that we're carrying, because then what, right? There's that big unknown. It's scary. There's that big unknown. Then what? If I let go of this, what's going to happen? Who am I going to be? If I'm not a victim anymore, who am I? We tend to identify with these types of situations. That's really difficult. If you're finding that you're really, really struggling with that, I really recommend go get some help. Go talk to a therapist or a counselor. There are really good therapies nowadays that can really help with that, to release those kinds of traumas from the past, right? The S.P.I.N method here is designed for, it's designed really for us when we're functioning. So if we're struggling with some real psychological trauma, go get some help with that. Then once you've healed those to a manageable place, then you can use the S.P.I.N method to start helping you train your brain to see the more accurate view of life and to see more positivity and actually decrease trauma. Because as we see things more realistically and we stop associating so much negativity, we're not traumatized quite so much, which is a really cool thing. It's a beautiful side effect of this method. So it's really a beautiful thing. So if you are struggling with some really hard stuff, please go get some help. I've been therapying many times for years and I love it. Absolutely helped me with many things in my life. I recommend it to everybody. Even just a check-in with somebody to assess your mental health is a great idea, and I recommend it. So, but if you're feeling okay, right, then the S.P.I.N method can help you to that next level, to stop being traumatized, to stop being a victim, because you have a new outlook on life. You see things differently. So I will accept the changes being made within me and will allow them to bring more goodness and positivity into my life. If you can't accept these changes, then the changes will never stick. That's the main point. You have to be willing to let this work in you and in your life. And nobody can do that but you. You've got to say to yourself, I'm going to let this happen. I am going to let go of these biases. I'm going to let go of these judgments. I'm going to let go of these grudges. And I'm going to let this happen. I'm going to wake up in the morning and feel better and allow myself to feel better. Not go, nope, I don't want to feel better. I'm a victim. I'm angry, right? I'm upset. I've been hurt. there's a time and a place for processing through hurt and pain. There's a time for the grief process, and that's important. Okay. But when we get through that, and again, if you need help, great, go get some help. That's awesome. But once we get through that, accept it. No, you know what? Glass half full, glass half empty, getting rid of that. Where am I at? Oh, I feel good. The truth of the situation is that I feel good. I'm going to let myself feel good. Awesome, right? That's awesome. There's lots of power in that. Okay, so accept the changes being made within me and will allow them to bring more goodness and positivity in my life. Signed, me, Blake William Halladay. Put your pen to the paper and sign it. Say these things out loud. I will, I will, right? And then sign it. Get your senses involved and your body involved. That will help you get into the right mindset and build those new neural pathways, which again is what this is all about. Okay. So again, the Pact might seem a little bit silly, but remember, there's a purpose for all of this. It's all intentional. Go through it step by step, and you will come out the other side better off for it. All right. Good luck. Talk to you in the next video.